Hello, welcome to another match in week 2. We have on the player side we have the Spiritomb Raiders. On the opponent side we have the Maxers. And let's see, the Maxers, they lost a really close game to the Boo Boo Clap Keys. Honestly, the turn 1 is kind of like was a kind of disaster where Thousand Arrows grounded his Meteor, and then he bulldozed and killed his own Meteor, and he could have gotten the Shell Smash off, and it's just like, that turn was really bad, so I give him credit for making it pretty close, like, really closer than I thought it would be after such a terrible turn 1. So they are 0-1, and the Spiritomb Raiders, they had I'd say a pretty solid win against the, oh my gosh, the Soctuas. The Umbreon put in a lot of work killing, one-shotting the Ace, the Mega Metagross with a foul play, one-shotting the Alone Raichu as well. So, that mom put a lot of work. She was able to push the early game and put it into a win. So I'm looking at these mons. Mega Lopunny, I think, is going to be a very powerful mon here. There's like some pretty fast mons on the Maxer side. Like the Naganadel is like 121, I think. Mega Lucario is like a 112. Azelf and Thundurus are both also fast mons. But Mega Lopunny outspeeds all of them. And that's pretty huge because the rest of the team that's being brought now is like mediocre-ish speed, as you can see. It's like Meloetta's like your third fastest mon. That's like average, and it's just like you got to be careful not to get overwhelmed by like hyper offensive things. The Volcanion's also pretty interesting here. It's like it has this weird dynamic where there's like two water types that like it can like wall, but it can't do pretty well against like eating those moves. But it can't really threaten them back. You know, the fire or water obviously both don't do much against these water types. So that's gonna be a pretty interesting dynamic of how you can squeeze. You can get value out of Volcanion defensively, but how you can squeeze out damage against it. You also got to worry about the Thundurus. And speaking of Thundurus, this is, I think, going to be a pretty big mon. There's 3 mons weak to Thundurus, and Thundurus outspeeds all of them. And not only that, Thundurus is a good way of just disrupting Mega Lopunny. As I said earlier, this Mega Lopunny being able to outspeed things, you know, threatens to one-shot the Crawdon, one-shot Lucario. You know, usually ghost types are good against normal fighting types, but Scrappy invalidates that. So being able to like status it with like a Thunder Wave or just being annoying to it could be pretty good. It could be like, pretty huge in just preventing this mon from like running away with the game. I don't want to lead Mega Lopunny. It's got Fake Out, which is always nice for like a lead, but like I don't want to get this Thunder Waved. So like, this Thunder Wave is just like, so like, you're in a really rough spot here then, because if you're scared of the Thundurus lead, you can't lead Skarmory, you can't lead Primarina, you can't lead Volcanion, you don't want to lead Lopunny. Your literally only option is Meloetta and Silvally. But I honestly, that lead's not. I don't hate the lead. That lead. I don't remember. If you have like a way to, like Meloetta could close combat like Crawdon or something, so like if it's faster, like so, you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, I guess I'm leading out Meloetta Silvally. I guess. And then I would like to lead Thundurus here. I really would. And maybe just like, what else would I lead with the Thundurus? That's kind of like the question here. Probably just like a middle, maybe Crawdon, honestly. It's like it doesn't outspeed almost anything actually. Maybe Crawdon's probably gonna leave it in the back then. Maybe like Azelf, just like as like aggressive early damage, I think. Yeah, that's what I would say. Okay, let's start. All right, I got half the leads right on both sides. I guess Meloetta and I guess Azelf. Okay. So this is a, you got to be careful. Both sides got to be careful. Obviously, Meloetta doesn't really hit hard physically with close combat until after your Relic Song, but that takes a turn. I think it also gets Focus Blast, but like, geez, relying on a Focus Blast or die is just always just not a good feeling. Is Azelf? I imagine it has Thunderbolt on it, so like, because Azelf, these you should get these the late trio gets like good coverage moves. So I'm thinking like Thunderbolt and like maybe just Protect just to see what the Meloetta wants to go for. Except if you're like Choice Scarf, it would be a great time to Choice Scarf knockoff. But like, I kind of want to scout here with the Crowd, so I want to Protect here, and then I'm not really sure the Skarmer. This is a very awkward positioning. You can't switch into low punny. I mean, if it knocks off, you can switch into low punny, I guess. Yeah, I'd probably switch into like Primarina here with the Meloetta. That or like low punny, because even though it's not fighting type, the knockoff doesn't do as much because of the what's it called? Because it's a Mega Stone, right? And then the Skarmory, dude, I don't even know what you do with the Skarmory. Every time I see the smile, I'm like, what do you do with it? But okay. Oh wow, just goes for that is a big liquidation. This was a okay. We are trading. Okay, so we're just gonna get spikes up. See, there are 2 mons immune to that, and one of them is already out. So like that can get some good value on it. That was a pretty big liquidation. Is that banded liquidation? I don't know. So that was pretty bulky. So I'm gonna guess it is. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it is. Yeah, so that was a pretty big win for turn 1. I mean, if you think it's banded, you like probably just like double switch then. Again, it's kind of rough because the Azel probably has T-Bolt. So like, I don't know, maybe. What else? What is Skarmory gonna do? I mean, you could just double the Crawdon, I guess. Yeah, you could just double Crawdon. Again, I don't know the calcs here. And like RKS system, you can like, yeah, you can hit with spread moves. Crawdon is not bulky, so maybe like Brave Bird does something else. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking here. Okay, yeah, that Azelf does some good damage. Return does 2/3. Yeah, and the Skarmory's just so slow that even a Crawdon. Well, okay, there's just no speed investment into the Skarmory, that's the deal, which is coming up pretty huge here, because I mean, this thing tries to Brave Bird or something. Okay, we go for Tailwind. Alright. Okay. That's pretty good here. There was no Brave Bird last week, so that's why I was kind of hesitant to saying using Brave Bird. I'm guessing that's just because you don't want to break, she's afraid of breaking your own sturdy, which is like fair enough. Alright, so now there's a Light Scream up, so you don't want to bring a special attacker. So I guess your only option is Low Punny, right? Low Punny just super outspeeds everything now. You can like, you can do whatever you want, really. You don't want it. Faking out's always awkward here because okay, we're gonna bring in Meloetta. Okay, I can kind of see this too. Hyper Voice, I think would KO Crawdon even through Light Screen. I can't say that for certain though, but like you can like, assuming it does KO, you can like Hyper Voice in a Skarmory. I'd probably just squeeze in more chip with this. I don't think this is gonna do much for the rest of the game, and I kind of don't want this in anymore. I kind of hope it dies. So like, maybe get up another spike. Just do something mildly productive with it. Is Crawdon? You could send in a. I do want to keep. I think I do want to keep this Crawdon though, just because even just like Aqua Jet could be pretty nice against like just to chips things down. So like maybe I just like send in like Jellicent here because I'm expecting a Hyper Voice, or if any like Hyper Voice close combat, like anything like that. That sounds fine by me. And like a more defensive mon when you're like when your opponent's in Tailwind is a bit kind of nice to have. Okay, Hyper Voice does KO. Wow, that Self is so frail. We have... This gets Rock Slide, the more you know. Thunderbolt does nothing. Okay. We are keeping this Skarmory alive. Now that it has Rock Slide, I'm now a little bit more eager to get rid of it, because when Rock Slide happens, even if you do 12% with it, bad things can happen. Now, it's just a question of just how slow the Skarmory is. Because if you're max speed like Mega Lucario and Naganadel, maybe you're still faster than a Skarmory and Tailwind. There's definitely a shot about that. And looks of it, that's not a gamble that he wants to take. And I think that's fair here. Because again, the Jellicent does very well against the Meloetta, and it's just very bulky, so you can start, I don't know, like start chipping things down, maybe chip down the Meloetta, or maybe like get rid of the Skarmory and just like don't want to play this Rock Slide flinch game, so like also fair. I'd probably, let's see, Thunderbolt, I mean, Hyper Voice plus Rock Slide did 51. So you do have, so that will KO the Elzelf, Hyper Voice, Rock Slide. So if you have a way to stop that, that would be nice. Maybe just protect. I think the Tailwind, stalling a Tailwind turn is better for you. Is a worthwhile trade of stalling your own Light Screen. I think that's a fair assessment. I'm guessing this is Light Clay. Okay. Oh, Substitute. Oh, and that's a flinch. Oh my gosh, that was a big turn for the Spiritomb Raiders. Just unable to do, you know, just getting a Substitute up is like pretty huge here. And just taking another turn where you can just kind of click Hyper Voice without any concern about anything is very nice. And that flinch is like unfortunate. The Protect, I'm not convinced by this Protect. I think your Jellicent was like really safe. I mean, you see the moves, Spikes, Tailwind, Rock Slide, and you only seen Hyper Voice so far. I don't think you needed to protect the Jellicent here. Even if it did get doubled, I think you would have been pretty fine here. I think you need to like start progressing your game plan a little bit. Okay. One more turn of Tailwind. What do you do with it? How do you go against it? I'd probably just, I don't know. I'd probably just start it. I need to get rid of this. Meloetta. I didn't realize Jellicent was water. That's also pretty huge against like Primarina and Volcanion. Okay, you gotta be worried about that. Okay, we're setting. Oh, we're really setting up here. Okay, do we get a flinch? Okay, no flinch on the Azelf. Oh my gosh! And because of the Combine, the Skull just does not even break the sub. That is these past two turns, is Meloetta just doing everything right. Okay, so now you're against a Meloetta that has set up a Combine in behind a Substitute. And now I'd probably just send in the I think it's a good time to send in Lopunny now. I think you can fake out the Azelf and go full fake out. I think that may honestly just KO out. It probably does KO. I'm convinced that KOs Azelf. And then you can, you KO like a mon that's faster than Meloetta, so like you get the Substitutes like still safe. I wouldn't even mind protecting with Meloetta and faking out if you have Protect, but you may not. You may want to just like a Psychic coverage move for Naganadel. I'm gonna guess that's what the last move is. Yep, I do like this Spring Out. I just want to Mega Evolve Fake Out and just do something with the Meloetta. Oh, okay. Taking advantage of the Scrapy ability, allowing you to hit Ghost types. Okay, we're just whittling down this Jellicent. Okay. Okay, wow, that is getting the Reflect off. That's kind of an insane play actually, because this now this Substitute, you're still behind a Substitute. You're diminishing the power of the, what's it called? of the physical attacks for low punny, but it's only a low punny at this point they're diminishing the attacks from. So, and now I'm kind of surprised about the double into the Jellicent, especially. I really thought the Azelf would get attacked here, especially because it hasn't shown Protect and Jellicent has. But this ended up working very well. You know, the last move was Psychic, which I guessed correctly on. You can just like, you could Hyper Voice return. No, you can't. You can't. You probably just return and just with Psychic, and that would be a double KO. Oh, give Chip leftovers. Chip, maybe not. Okay. It's still. And we got another Calm Mind. Oh my gosh! How did that not break sub? A Scald and the Thunderbolt. And Meloetta does not care. Oh my gosh. Is this just max special defense? It may be. But jeez, this Meloetta's gonna run the game now. Okay. Now you can Psychic the Jellicent and just attack the Azelf. I really want to do that. Just the Azelf is it's just with speed tiers. You'll get a double KO pretty safely. It's at 89%. Oh my gosh, this one's never gonna die. Okay, we're still going for the return. It's not even enough. Yeah, this is. Okay, we just wanted to double the Jellicent. I'm like pretty confident the Psychic would KO though. Let's see. We can see Psychic on without. I don't care if it counts, but I feel like it would have. Maybe not. And like even if it didn't, I don't think it's that big a deal. But this Azelf, I thought it's just not doing enough damage right now, despite it being Azelf. Azelf is a pretty strong mon usually. 95. Oh my gosh, this is so much appealing. All right, here comes Thundurus. I think you just got to start finding a way to try. What do you even do here? Probably just try to Thunder Wave a low punny and just try. You got to start scamming turns. I think you're in a really bad spot, and you can't really do much with the Meloetta before you break the sub. So like, probably just like Thunderbolt, and then what's it called? Thunder Wave, low punny, try to paralyze once or twice. I really think that's your only out at this point. This is looking really bad. And now just Hyper Voice return, just double attack here. Okay, we got Ice Punch. Would that even do more damage than return? It's like the exact same almost. You do get a freeze chance, so like it's not a bad game. It's like that's fair to go for. Okay, we finally get this thing out the sub, but here comes a +2, and I can only guess his Hyper Voice, and that's a double KO. Yep. All right. So now you have to do. Okay. So now you're up 4-2. You're in a very good spot. You're again. The Meloetta can just. I'm trying to figure out like how do you guarantee a win at this point. You know the was this turn 9 late screened, and when did you late screen the first time? Is this a like play? Yeah, okay, it is like play, so you do know. Okay, you can't really stall 4 turns. You are faster with the low punny. That's very true. You probably just close combat Lucario and try to Psychic. That's probably the only. Like, I don't think you want to like overthink this. You know, it may live. Oh, what's it called? It may live the Lucario. Close combat. Assuming the last move was close combat. You with the Reflect Up. Maybe close combat Hyper Voice. That's honestly not a terrible play either, but I want to make sure I at least kill one of these mons, and I think close combat Hyper Voice is the best way of doing that. It does. Oh my, that is. Okay, we're Drain Punch actually, not close combat. Not going to be enough to KO thanks to the screens. And Meteor Mash. My gosh, the card hits hard. But assuming this Meloetta went for any attack, and it does, this game is over now. It's pretty much gonna seal this game up. Yeah. That's this Meloetta, man. It just work is an understatement what this mon did. This mon carried. That was an impressive showing from Meloetta. And I'm very surprised just like how much that it was able to tank through the substitute. But that was a pretty good. I would say that win was kind of convincing. That was Meloetta really just showed that that it can take on the world. It says I don't know what I'm doing as the Meloetta, like, I don't know, I got how many kills, but it did so much. But that's gonna do it for me, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.